Ooh, hey. Mm. So I'm Christy. That's my real name. My handle here is Astrid Astrolabe, which is actually a name that I had picked for a fan fiction author in a story I wrote a long time ago. So it is the winter solstice here in um, North America. I'm in Oregon, and I'm on, I guess, my own kind of interesting journey, which is very spiritually rich and includes recovery from alcohol use disorder. And I use plant medicine and all that kind of good stuff. I'm wearing actually, it's more like a crown, not a tiara, but I'm calling this period for me solstice tide. And I thought I would just, the queen wears a crown to reflect her role in public spaces. And I thought, this feels like what I should wear as my role in whatever this fun, magical world is that includes me. Oh, we don't need to talk about me. This is about the solstice. So I'm gonna I have a candle. Gotta have, gotta have the light. This is a cedar rattle. It just shakes up all the good stuff, and some selenite. So I'm just gonna do a quick um cleanse of me and of here. Hi, Rachel. So great to have you. As I am just opening space now, I'm, let's see, for now, actually, I was going to anoint myself with some perfume just because I feel like that feels sacred. If not sacred oils, then sacred perfume. And anointing just feels very special to me. So I'm going to anoint myself with something lovely. I have my candle here. And I'm just going to close my eyes and call in or attune, whatever terms work for you. Everybody's inner landscape and the way we see our own world is different. So this is my language, and that's why I'll use it, but you're welcome to use it if it resonates with you. Is I open up space here for those who are here now and those who may ever come into this space, since this will go through time and space. Um, it is solstice. It is the longest night of the year in North America. And although I have spent a year in Australia, so it's the summer solstice down there, the energy of this is really, particularly for what I think of as the spiritual new year, in a winter setting. So I am thinking of wintry things in the dark and ice storms, and also really drawing in on my connection to earth in what I've been thinking of as a geotic sense, like really bringing in my crystalline energy, like the shiny geodes, because the heart of the planet, I mean, it's literally iron and metals sloshing around. And just the thought of all the metal and all the structure, just really, really being at home on planet Earth, and connection to the moon, and all of the cycles that our species and our brains and our bodies and all the living things on this planet are, quite literally, we have, our DNA has clocks set to the planet's rhythms. So I want to reach out to my higher self, kind of what I call my um, mothership, or resurrection ship, because I'm a big Battlestar Galactica reboot girl. So I really love that imagery. So I want to reach out to my higher self, the part of myself that gets to step through doorways anytime and has the ability to create the world I want to be in and not react and not live in a reactive world, but live in a creative world. So there's that. Welcome. I thought I would share a couple of things. I use, again, I'm inspired by lots of things. What I really have come to believe is that the more you draw from what sparks your own creativity, the more powerful it is. So I call this an alphometer. That's a Philip Pullman word from his Dark Materials. But the images are something that are associated with my cousin, but I have set it up as sort of my own sacred spiritual wheel. And so I'm going to just put that here because that energy for me, I have some archetype things that came for me for this new year, including the scribe. I believe I'll do a lot of writing. Um, the image of the shepherd's crook, of perhaps leadership, but more of shepherding people. And I have the sense that that's why I've been like called to do something like this. I'm a medical biller. I don't normally hold sacred space like this. But then again, when I was in my 30s, I did a discernment process about being an Episcopalian priest. So that kind of connection to things beyond me, I guess, is a little longer lasting than I realized. Have a couple of stones. They're green, just because I feel like green is the color for, well, holly and ivy. And I have a very strong Celtic heritage. So got some green stuff going on and a green dye that I found on my walk to work one day. I just have never seen them like this. It was just sitting there. So I took it home and got a 6. So I'm just going to play around with that number for a little bit. I did want to do, um, so Rachel, I think it's mostly just you and me, which is really awesome. This is kind of the first time I've done a big thing for solstice, but it really did feel like a new year experience for me. And so I guess I wanted to hold ceremony for it. And I'm trying to not overthink things and live really intuitively. And so oops, that's what something like this is. And the more often I do it, the easier it becomes. So this is, I love this deck. I'm just going to pick that one right there. It's an oracle deck, so they're all symbols. It's just drawings, which I love because you can just interpret it however you want. And I will try to post a picture of this. I definitely in it I see a flame and lots of other things, maps, who knows. Anyway, I have a lot of fun with that. I was thinking I would probably spend a little time here with my spiritual compass playground once a day during the solstice tide time. And this is a conventional tarot deck, but it's kind of older Celtic designs on it, which I, uh, they just speak to my heart because I have very strong Celtic background. So I'm going to draw a card. So from this, from the oracle card or the non completely non tarot oracle card, I'm gonna take the word flame and map, and then the number 6 and the color green, and then I'll pick one card from here, and I'm gonna just play with those as they just see how they affect my life. Oh, that's so I got the devil, which don't know that I've ever drawn before. So I guess I will. Ah, hmm, I'll get to learn well, I mean, the great thing about doing one's own cards is you interpret it however you want. So actually, from that, I think about, I mean, the idea of it really is punishment and the whole concept of that. And I'm writing a story, and I think I'm going to have one of the characters really just go overboard, like wanting to punish himself for something he thinks that it was his fault when it isn't. So, anyway, perhaps creatively, or however you might want to use that or not, I'm just going to think of it as kind of a punishment thing, and that I don't need to have punishment in my life because I don't need that. Let's see. There was another kind of an image that just came my way from somebody I watch on YouTube named Ashtara, and it was a card that it's called Our Lady with the Moon at Her Feet. And I thought that is one of the most beautiful images I've ever heard of. So I wanted to share that with you, kind of thinking of that, the crystal or bright, or the just kind of that crystalline aspect to stars on the crisp night, and goddesses flitting around in the sky on diaphanous wings or something. Actually, this is definitely, I almost brought out my archangel cards because I was thinking a lot about seraphic stuff and wings, and uh, kind of, it's something I do actually when I walk on my way, and I just kind of take on what I call my seraphic nature, and I'm trying to bring that positive, it's going to be okay energy with me to work. So let's, okay, that's a lot of me talking. So I think what I will do now is to have just a few moments of quiet, just to see, give, let anybody who's around see if there's anything else as a gift for this year. Definitely a theme for me is going to be that idea of being on a threshold all the time. So at any point, each step can be into a new reality. And that that feels like a, I mean, it's just new neural pathways in our brain. It's really science, and also really, really real. So on this night, thank you for being with me. Thank you for holding space with me, and a very blessed, joyous time to you and yours. And I will see you next time I do something like this. Let me close the space. Blessings.